Roughly?
We're about 8 million right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
My whole thing is just trying to, come up with strategic solutions for my customers. We a problem solver. We're a trucking company, but our main goal is to solve our customers' problems. Boom, the BMW in Greer, South Carolina, and it's like 20 minutes away from Greenville, from where I'm from. That's the biggest BMW plant in the world. They produce about 1,500 cars a day, 24/7. So I realized, like, okay, this is what I need to be doing. Paveway didn't have a website. Paveway didn't have a logo.
Right.
Paveway wasn't using QuickBooks. We didn't have a TMS system. We was just basically hustling. It's hard work. It's night in, night out. It's 24/7. A lot of it's dropping hooks.
Just dropping hooks.
Yep.
Drop a trailer, pick up a trailer, and keep on rolling.
Yep.
So you don't got to touch nothing.
No touch.
Man, you guys got it made.
Yep. And they home every day, make good money. Some of my drivers make.
All right, so before we continue our discussion with Justin Jenkins from Paveway Express, I want to give a quick shout out to our partner and also our sponsor, OTR Solutions, the #1 factoring company in the country. Listen, guys, OTR is the only factoring company that offers true non-recourse factoring. You can't beat that. So make sure that you go check out OTR Solutions right now. We've been working with them since 2019, and they've been a great partner and a great resource for us and our carrier community. So I want you to go to either the link in the description below, or you can text TNH OTR to 80483. That's TNH OTR to 80483, and that'll also connect you with someone from the sales team. All right, make sure you go check out OTR, and let's get back to the show.
I'm Justin Jenkins, CEO of Paveway Express. You are now watching Truck and Hustle.
All right, so CEO of Paveway Express, man. Tell me about the company. What is Paveway Express? What do you guys do?
So I started Paveway Express back in 2017 with one truck, one trailer, one driver. With the will of God, hard work, I done scaled Paveway up to 35 trucks. We got about 38 drivers. We got about 50 trailers in the fleet. We specialize in hauling automotive freight for automotive manufacturers such as BMW, Volvo, Mercedes, and Volkswagen, and we also deal with a lot of their tier 1 and tier 2 suppliers.
Okay, got it. When you say tier 1 and tier 2 suppliers, can you explain that?
Yes, so tier 1 and tier 2 suppliers is the companies who make the parts for BMW and Volkswagen and Volvo. So example, Farah is a tier 2 automotive supplier. They make the cushions that go inside the seats. So they make the cushions, they put the wire inside of it. Then they'll send it to Lear, which is a tier 1 supplier. And then Lear will wrap it up with the leather, with the speakers. And then Lear send it to BMW, and then they put it inside the cars.
Okay, got it. So you deal with all of those guys, right?
Yes.
Okay, got it. So you're in the automotive niche, which is extremely niche. We always talk about the riches are in the niches, and you've been able to kind of build your company around that automotive in that automotive space.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Got it. Well, let's talk about the journey, man. Let's get into it. First of all, we already said from Greenville, South Carolina. Talk about growing up a little bit, man. What type of kid were you?
So I grew up in the urban areas of Greenville, South Carolina, like the downtown areas. So, a kid, running the streets and just doing everything I wasn't supposed to be doing growing up.
Like a lot of us.
Right.
Okay.
Ended up getting into some little trouble at the age of about 15. Ended up going to the Department of Juvenile Justice for like 4 months. Ended up getting my GED while I was in DJJ. Then I came home and I didn't have to go back to school. So when I came home, I was like 16 years old and I had my GED, so I didn't have to go back to high school. You know, I didn't like school growing up, so I hated high school.
Got it. All right. So at what point do you enter into the trucking industry? Tell me about that.
So I entered the trucking industry in 2017.
Okay.
Yep.
2017?
Yep.
I got it. And before trucking, what were you doing?
So I was selling cars. I also used to promote. I was a nightclub promoter.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was selling cars, and that didn't work right. So I'm like, I'm done with this.
Okay.
And I had a buddy. He was actually in trucking. Justin Thompson, CLS Logistics. Shout out to him. He actually gave me some game, and I had an uncle that was driving trucks as well, and he always told me, "Hey, you need to get a truck. You need to get a truck." But you don't never listen, right? So I finally got that truck, and I bought the truck in 2016, December 2016. Did all my paperwork, got my paperwork and everything done. In 2017, that's when we ran our first load, February 10th, 2017.
Okay. Got it. So 2000, you said 16 you bought the truck?
Yeah, I bought it in December of
Okay,
16.
did you buy the truck outright? How did you finance it?
So-
all right, let's take a brief moment before we get back into the show. I have an announcement. Are you a trucking company looking to cut costs and boost your bottom line? Unlock unmatched savings and benefits with TSS Fuel Card. Each card comes with a $3,000 line of credit that provides you with the financial flexibility that you need on the road. Enjoy up to $1.35 off the cash price at all major stations that truckers love. Their clients save an average of $1,000 monthly per truck. TSS works with new trucking companies, owner-operators, small fleets, and large fleets. With the TSS Fuel Card bundle, you're not just getting a fuel card. Their bundle offers mean significant savings on essential services and protection, helping you manage your fleet more efficiently. Applying for a TSS Fuel Card is quick and easy. Simply fill out the short contact form on their website, and they'll get right back to you. Apply for your TSS Fuel Card today and experience the difference. For more information, click the link below in the description. TSS Fuel Cards, fueling your success mile by mile. Now let's get back to the show.
So it's a shop, ALC Diesel in Greenville, and they work on trucks and they also sell trucks. So I ended up giving them like $10,000 down on a truck. They charged me $18,000 for that truck, and I made payments on the rest of it. So I made a payment like for 8 months for $1,000 for 8 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So what was your expectations getting into the industry? You said your uncle told you about it. What did your uncle do? He ran trucks as well?
No, he was just a driver. He was just a driver. He was basically just saying, hey, get you 1 or 2 trucks and you can make some money.
Okay. Got it. So you took his advice, you get the truck, and then what do you do?
So I got that first truck. I got my first driver. The first driver was kind of challenging, but we got over those humps.
So you didn't drive the truck?
I didn't drive the truck.
Okay, you didn't get a CDL?
I don't have a CDL.
Okay, no CDL still to this day?
No CDL to this day.
Okay, got it. All right, so you got a truck, and now you find a driver.
Yep.
How'd you find your first driver?
So one of my buddies, my same buddy, Justin Thompson, he introduced me to a guy, and it didn't work out at first, but we ended up making it work because what I had to do was be creative. I had to make sure that he get paid if the truck not moving because I only got one truck. So this one truck gonna go down. When the truck go down, he still got get paid. He still got bills. So what I had to do was give him like $75 a day, regardless if he work or don't work. He can still get paid because he still got a family to feed at home.
Okay.
Because I know with that one truck, we're gonna have breakdown issues. Sometimes I can't find load because my authority's so new. So I had to incentivize him to make sure it worked. So I did that with my first 3 drivers. And then after that, it was just basically history.
Where'd you get that idea from?
I just thought of it. I had to be creative. Yeah.
Right. So at that time, what type of work are you doing with the trucks?
We was just load board.
Okay.
So I started off the DAT Trucker's Edge, off the load board.
Okay. So you jumped on the load board. How'd you learn how to use it? Just kind of self-taught?
Yeah, self-taught. I taught myself. And my partner, Justin, he was showing me what to do, giving me some games, some tips. And for the most part, I just, learned it.
How'd you know, what was a good rate, to make sure that you were running the truck profitably? Tell me a little bit about that.
So we run locally. So I try to run a 250-mile radius from Greenville, north, south, west, or east.
Okay.
So, because I want to get the driver back every day. So back in 17, I just wanted to make sure the truck made $1,000 a day.
Okay.
So
you had a day cab?
Yeah, I had a day cab.
Okay.
Yeah. No, the first truck was actually a sleeper. It was a KW, 2006 KW, sleeper.
But you still ran it local?
So we still ran it local. I run it back to Atlanta and back, Charlotte and back, Greensboro back, just 200, anything within that 250-mile radius so we can get back every day.
Okay.
So, and I wanted the truck to make $1,000 a day. So if I can get $500-600 going down, get another $500-600 coming back, and sometimes it might be $400. As long as it come up to $1,000, I was happy.
Now, was the truck making $1,000, or you the
truck
make $1,000?
Yeah, the truck made
$1,000. And out of that $1,000 that the truck is making, what are you making?
We probably was because I was giving the driver 30%.
Yeah.
The driver was getting 30%. Fuel then on those loads probably had about $200-250 in fuel, depending on where we was going.
Yeah.
Maintenance, I put $65 back every day for maintenance. So I probably was end up walking away with, when it's all said and done, $200.
Okay.
Someday, a good day.
$150 to $200.
Yeah.
Per day.
Yep.
Okay, so how did that work out in terms of your goal of making $1,000? Were you successful in doing that most times? Or?
Yes, we were successful at doing it.
Okay, and what type of freight were you running? You said you were on a load board, but was there any particular customers that you would connect with that you'd run more consistently off the board, or was it just every day was a crapshoot?
So in the beginning, every day was a crapshoot because when your authority is new, it's like certain companies you might call And they might say, hey, your authority ain't new enough, so you might have to have, they want 6 months, or they might want 90 days, or some companies want a year. So sometimes, some days I might call 30, 40 people just to get a load. Then I might book a load, and then they'll call back and say, hey, this load counts, or we gave the load to somebody else. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't nothing like consistent. It wasn't nothing consistent about it.
Right.
You know, so we would just basically, it was a grind.
Right. So you're grinding every day, and you just have one truck, one driver at this point, right?
One truck, one driver.
Okay. So tell me about how you like kind of grow from that. Just tell me the story.
Okay. So that was in February when I got that first truck started, and I implemented the strategy where he get paid where long as
whether the truck makes money or not, he's getting at least $75.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So by April, I bought my second truck in April, and I implemented that same strategy.
Okay.
I bought my third truck, I think it was like August of 17. So all the money that I was making, I was just putting it back into the company. I was just putting it back into the company, you know, because my whole goal was to scale it.
Okay.
And by the time then, I had met this one broker, and he had some automotive freight. And that's when I realized, like, automotive is where I need to be. So we was hauling headliners from Grupo Alton, which is in Spartanburg, South Carolina, up to Volkswagen in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So we started out as a backup.
Okay.
So during the week, he would call me when somebody fall off the load. He'll call me, hey, Justin, can you do this? So I would send a truck in there. And we did so good to where he gave us the freight on the weekends. Like, so they was doing like 6 loads on the weekends. So, cause automotive, they run 24/7, 7 days a week, you know? So on the weekends, he said, hey, I'm gonna dedicate you these loads, 6 loads between Saturday and Sunday. At that time, I think I had 2 trucks when he first dedicated me at 6 loads on the weekend. So what I done, I went and found drivers that wanted part-time work on the weekends, and I started slip seating my trucks. So when one truck get back, boom, I sent another one right up to Volkswagen, and we did that the whole weekend. And we ended up doing that for about 6 months, and it worked good because those loads was paying real good. They was paying like $1,800 a round trip on those loads. Okay, you know, so that was real good.
Okay, got it. So you said just so I just come back around and make sure I got the story right. So how did you get that relationship again with the guy you were holding the headliners with?
So, and I actually met him from the load board.
You met him from the load board. Okay, got it.
So I built that relationship from the load board. Just like really all my relationships really came from the load board. Right. And just consistency, doing good work, and one thing turned into another.
Did you kind of like tell him like, hey, I'm looking for like dedicated freight, or like how did that conversation happen to where he would say, hey, you know, this is something this is a lane that we're running consistently, I'll give it to you, as opposed to anybody else, because he can meet anybody on the load board, right? Or connect with any company on the load board. So why was it you? What was special about what you were doing?
Because I was their backup. So they would get in a jam, and a carrier, the primary carrier would fall off of it. Then he would call me, you know, in the middle of the night, because again, it run 24/7. So, and I would be there for him. So in return, he like, hey, I'm gonna dedicate you this on the weekends, cause you know, you basically done proved yourself that you can handle this volume.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Got it. All right. Let's talk about, so you said you started that initial phase, you had 3 trucks, and you said you bought them all outright. You were financing. These are older.
These was older
trucks,
equipment.
Right?
Yeah. We started buying like older trucks. Like
what's your methodology around how you purchase your trucks? I know everybody has like what they look for. Tell me about that.
Right. So the KW was a trash truck. That was a nightmare. Right. Okay. You know, so my second truck was actually still to this day is the best truck in the fleet. And I call it Sheba. So it's a 2000 Freightliner FLD with an M14 in it. So when I bought that truck, I paid $7,700 for this truck. Great truck.
$7,700?
$7,700 for this truck,
okay.
Man.
Okay.
And it's still running to this day.
That's a steal.
It's a steal. You know, we put brand new tires. I think when it was all said and done, I might have had 10 grand in it.
Okay.
But great truck. And that's when I realized, like, hey, buy N14s, Cummins N14 motors, FLD trucks. So I went and bought my second truck. My third truck, it had a Cummins in it. Fourth truck had Cummins. I sold up until like 8 trucks. My 8th truck, it all had Cummins in it. Okay. Because I fell in love with Cummins because it was working for me. They're easy to work on, but it got to a point to where I couldn't find these older trucks no more. So I had to start buying newer trucks, because one thing about the older trucks is every summer AC going out. So you're basically doing the whole AC system over every summer. And it's just
how much does that cost?
It depends on exactly what's going on, but I would say between $2,000 to $3,000 per truck every summer with AC, and you always having the hood up. So I wanted to get away from that, and I know that my plans on what I was trying to take Paveway, older trucks wasn't going to be it. So I jumped in a relationship with Ryder, and Ryder is high. So my whole goal wasn't to make money. It was just to show the customers what I can do. So and it worked. So we ended up scaling up with we had 9 Ryder trucks at one time.
Okay. You were leasing them.
We was leasing them. Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it. So you had 3 trucks that you owned outright. Did you finance them, or you just bought them? The first initial ones you bought, right? Cash.
Yeah. The first 3 I had bought up to all the way to about 8 trucks.
8 trucks.
Yeah.
They were paid for.
They were paid for. Correct.
Okay. And you got them for cheap, anywhere from the one was $7,700. What was the most expensive one out of those?
Probably that Cape, my first truck, $18,000.
$18,000.
Yeah, so that was in the range between, just say $8,000 to $18,000.
Get it. And mostly day cabs, right?
Mostly day cabs, correct.
Okay, got it. So the first 8 trucks you buy, right? But then you say, I'm gonna lease now. Where'd you get that strategy from?
So I wanted to use the Jeff Bezos strategy highlight with Amazon. Amazon didn't make money for the first, I don't know, now don't quote me, I think it's 10, 15 years. They didn't make no money.
Right.
So they just wanted to show what they can do. And that's what I wanted to do, is show what I can do, because a lot of this automotive is on time. You got to be there. You can't say, hey, my truck broke down, I can't get there. You got to be there. So I didn't want the trucking piece of it, mechanically side of it, to be an issue for me scaling with these customers.
Right.
So once I built they trust, I jumped in a relationship with Ryder, and I knew that, hey, Ryder, the lease is expensive, but I don't got to make money this first year or the second year. I just want to show these customers what I can do, and it worked.
How much were you paying to lease the trucks when you started out?
At that time, I think we was paying about $4,000 a truck per month.
Okay, $4,000 per truck. Now, did you know anybody else who had leased trucks, or was this you just kind of went into it without really knowing much about it?
I just jumped out there.
Okay, what were some of the benefits, and let's talk about the pros and the cons to leasing, in terms of how you could think about it financially and everything. Because this is a discussion that a lot of times people have, right? Should you buy trucks? Should you lease trucks? Should you So what was some of the things that you learned in kind of leasing the trucks, and would you do that again? Would you use that same exact strategy if you started over?
Right. I would use that same exact strategy. The pros of it is they're going to do all the work. You're going to have new trucks, so you're going to have breakdowns. It's going to be you really ain't going to have no breakdowns. But when you do break down, they coming to get you off side of the road. They paying for the tow bill. They giving you a new truck, so you don't have no worries when it comes to maintenance.
Or they give you a loaner.
Or they give you a loaner, correct. Yeah, they'll bring it to you on the side of the road, You keep going. The negative side is expensive. You can't make no money with it. Anything that you do, you damage that truck, it's something that costs $1,000, they're gonna charge you $5,000. If you have a bump up, because things gonna happen in these trucks. So they just charge you way too much. It's almost like a scam, but it is what it is.
What was the term of your lease?
We had year leases.
You had a year lease.
Yep. So at that time, they was doing year leases, and we was leasing older equipment. And older equipment was 2016 or 2017 at that time, because this was in 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Got it. So it's 2019. You start leasing. Did you get one truck? You got multiple trucks?
So we started out with the one. Then that worked good. So I think we put an order in for 4, 3 or 4. I can't remember. And as we got more customers and more opportunities, I just go get leased trucks. Because it was nothing but a phone call. It was convenient, and I didn't have to put up the capital either. Going to buy these trucks or making down payments. I would just call Ryder, and boom, they just give me a truck.
So at this point, you're scaling the trucks, and you're growing your relationships with your customers, with customers within the automotive niche. So who was the first customer that did the headliners? Who was that?
So that was Grupo Alton.
Okay.
They was based in Spartanburg, South Carolina at the time.
Okay.
And we was shipping it to Volkswagen, which is in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Okay. Got it. So you pick up there, and then you take it to Tennessee.
Yep. And then we'll bring racks back. So it's round trip freight.
Okay. Yeah. You get paid both ways.
You get paid both ways. Yep.
All right. So you're doing that. And how much trucks you got running that now?
We got 35 trucks.
No, not now, but how much trucks did you have running that at the time? That lane?
Oh, we was on the weekend, we was doing 6 loads between Saturday and Sunday. And during the week we was like the backup. So they might call me and we might do 2, 3. But then it actually went to one point where we was doing 3 a day.
Okay.
We was doing 3 loads a day for them.
Got it. And then how did you negotiate like that rate? Did they give you the rate, or did you have to kind of go in there with a number and talk about that?
Yeah, so Expedited, I understood that they need the freight there. So I know I basically can tell them what I want to tell them, and they're going to pay it, especially if you got good service.
Right.
So I had a certain rate of where I need to be at, but I'm also going to put my Expedited fee on top of that too. So that's how I came up with that rate of anywhere between $1,500 to $1,800. So they was giving us like $1,500, but like if it's a holiday, I'm charging you $1,800 because my drivers, I don't want them out there on the holidays, and if they're gonna be out there, we're gonna get paid for it.
Right. Got it. Okay. And then obviously you have more drivers. How are you recruiting drivers at this time?
So a lot of our drivers actually coming from word of mouth. You know, Paveway got great culture. Culture is everything, and it's just word of mouth. We have tried the Indeed route, but it haven't been effective for us. So social media been effective, Instagram, Facebook, and just word of mouth.
Okay. So at that time, the drivers are talking to the other drivers. They're saying, hey, this guy, Justin, he's taking care of me.
Yep.
Go come work for him. And he pays well too.
Yep. And that's
he even pays you when you don't work.
Right. Well, only 3 drivers had got up to that. So, and they was grandfathered in, but after that, I couldn't, we had to stop that.
That started to get expensive.
Right. Because at that point, I had a spare truck.
Yeah. Got you.
Yeah.
All right. So, so that's what's the name of that company? Alton. What is it?
Grupo Alton.
Grupo Alton.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I could be pronouncing wrong because it's a German company, right?
Okay.
But it's Grupo. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Got it. So you start with the headliners and then tell me like how you start moving into other kind of contracts and opportunities within the automotive niche.
Right. So I realized that, boom, the BMW right in Greer, South Carolina, and it's like 20 minutes away from Greenville, from where I'm from. That's the biggest BMW plant in the world. They produce about 1,500 cars a day. And again, it's 24/7. So I realized like, okay, this is what I need to be doing. So I ended up connecting with another broker, and I put a route together. So he came to me and they wanted to put a cost save together. So the previous carrier, the incumbent carrier that was on it, was like they was actually running a truck from Duncan, South Carolina to Gadsden, Alabama round trip. And then they was running one from Duncan, from the same plant in Duncan to Alba, which is Flowery Branch, Georgia. So he said, hey, how can you show the customer a cost save? And if the cost save is good enough, they probably will go with you. So what I done is I said, okay, let's put a trailer. We dropped the trailer in Duncan at the plant, Farrah in Duncan. We dropped another trailer at Alba, which was in Flowery Branch. And we dropped another trailer in Gadsden, Alabama. That's the other Farrah. So it was 2 sister companies, one in Duncan, one in Alabama. Then they had a supplier, which is Alba and Flowery Branch in the middle. And Alba's supplier, Wire. So in Farrah, they make the cushion to go inside the seats.
Okay.
So I dropped all these 3 trailers. So my one driver, he would do it like a sweep. He would start in Duncan, go to Georgia, go to Alabama, and it's all drop and hook, and then just come right back to Georgia and right back to Duncan, and he finished. And it was like a 12, 13-hour day, but we got 11 hours drive time. So, and I came aggressive when it came to the rate, and I got my first 2-year contract. And this was like 2018, February, March 2018.
Got it. So why were you able to think about that, but the other incumbent carrier couldn't? They didn't have the trailers to drop, or what was it?
I guess a lot of guys just stuck in doing business how they want to do business, and sometimes you got to be able to adjust and be flexible, and that's just part of life in general. Yeah.
Got it. So you were able to come up with that strategy to give them a cost savings, and then they just kind of went with you exclusively? Is
Correct.
That how it worked?
Yep. So we signed that 2-year contract just doing that lane. And then Farrah actually, they started pumping because I guess BMW demands went up. So these tier 1 and tier 2 suppliers, they all go by the automotive manufacturer demands. So if like they want them to work, they got to work. So I guess the BMW demands went up. So then they implemented a shuttle truck. So they wanted a shuttle truck from their plant to another offsite warehouse, which was about 5-10 miles down the road.
Okay.
So they brought that to us.
What's the shuttle truck doing?
So the shuttle truck was running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and just going back and forth from the plant to the warehouse.
Okay.
Just taking parts, just taking them seats, finished product to the warehouse, and then Lear will come and get it, and then they'll take it to Lear. And then they'll do what they got to do with it. But we was just responsible for taking it from Farrah and Duncan to the offsite warehouse, which was like 5-10 miles down the road.
Okay. So you have a nice, like, sweet kind of contract. It's short, not a lot of miles, not a lot of wear and tear on the truck, not a lot of not burning a lot of fuel.
Right.
So you're able to start kind of building on that.
Yeah, we started building on that. So then they got behind again, and then the sister plant, which is in Gadsden, Alabama. So that Gadsden, Alabama plant supply Mercedes, which is down in Vance. So that's what and I think they supply another automotive manufacturer, but I don't know, but I definitely know they supply Vance. So the sister company had Duncan, they supply BMW. So Duncan got behind. So Gadsden had to help supply Duncan so they can meet BMW demands. So they ended up turning to 3 trucks a day coming from Gadsden to Duncan round trip. So this one customer, it just kept snowballing. We was doing the great work, providing great service to them and very competitive when it came to the rate. And they just, any opportunity came, the broker came, hey, Justin, what can you do? And we just made it work for them. We made it work. And that all ended in 2020 when the pandemic came.
It ended. What happened?
So the world got shut down, right? Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, the world got shut down.
March 20th, 2020.
Yep.
Somewhere around
there. Yep,
it
was the 28th. I remember it, because that was my first big account, and it's like I lost my best friend, man, when we lost that. So even before pandemic came, they had hired a new purchasing manager. So the purchasing manager was basically saying, hey, he want to bring his own trucking company in. So it was in limbo. But make a long story short, once the pandemic came, it was just like, yeah, it's over. And then they didn't never come back. After that, they didn't never come back because a 2-year agreement was up.
Right.
So
you started in
18. In 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So that first route that I put together, that was up on the contract. But a lot of this other stuff, it wasn't even up on the contract. We were just going with the flow. Hey, can you do this? Going this, cause it was like they was behind. So they was really playing catch up. So they wasn't going to contract it out because it's like, hopefully we don't have to do this long because they spending more money for transportation costs, cause they behind.
Right. Got it.
So
2020 comes. You have, at this point, what does the company look like? How many drivers do you have? How many trucks? Just to give it.
At 2020, we had 8. I think we had like 8 trucks.
Okay.
Around 2020.
How many trailers?
We had about 10, 15 trailers.
And how are you getting trailers? I didn't ask you that.
So my first trailer I actually leased.
Okay.
I leased because, the trailers was expensive. And so I was leasing like $400 a month. And then I started buying trailers. I figured out that, hey, you don't need brand new trailers for what I was doing. So I would buy trailers in the range from $5,000 to $7,000.
Dry vans?
Yeah, dry vans. 53-foot dry vans, correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
And
where were you finding them?
So I met this guy on Craigslist. No, was it Craigslist? Yeah, I met him on Craigslist. And he worked for a company up in Tennessee, up in Sweetwater, Tennessee. And we would transport one. And we would buy all their older trailers. Yeah. Okay. So and that.
You do any work to them or anything like that? Just
they was ready to go.
They were ready to go.
They were ready to go.
Roadworthy.
All
good to go.
Yep. So they would cycle their fleet out, and he would call me, hey Justin, I got a couple trailers for sale. So and then we just started like that, and we ended up buying probably about 30 of our trailers is from that.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, got it. All right, so back to the story. So 2020, you said how many trailers? You got how many trucks?
So
how many drivers?
We had about 10 to 15 trailers, had about 8 trucks, and we had about 8 to 10 drivers.
Got it.
Yeah, because I always had more drivers than trucks because we do a lot of slip seating.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I always had more drivers than trucks.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Because you're running like day and night, right?
Correct,
so
correct.
Sharing the truck and so forth.
Yep.
All right, cool. So the world stops. What happens?
So the world stopped. Paveway stopped. And we had to figure it out. So it was still some freight working. Running. So you had like your tissue paper, your groceries, water, all that still was running.
And you're getting this off the boat.
So yeah,
you're back on the load.
So we went back to the basics. And I had met a rep from C.H. Robinson at the time, Charles Porter, and so we told Charles, hey, move this truck from Atlanta to Charlotte to Atlanta, back and forth. So we did put like 3 trucks on the board. Because a lot of guys was getting the PPP, they was getting unemployment. So those guys some of my guys didn't even want to work.
They don't work, yeah.
Yeah, they don't even want to work. So we put like 3 trucks on the board for like 3 months, and that got us through. And but during that time, I was in this program called the MBA program. The Greenwood Chamber of Commerce offered this program to MBA stand for Minority Business Accelerator Program. And the whole goal of that program is to create a strategic growth plan over 36 months, basically to scale your company.
Okay.
And I think that was one of the best things I ever did.
Tell me about it. Expound on it.
Yeah. So I started that program in January of 2020. COVID came in March, shut everything down. So as a group, we decided, hey, should we end the program or should we do it, but just do it virtual? So we said, hey, what else we doing? Why not? So we just decided as a group to do it virtual. And again, that was one of the best decisions I made in my life. It taught me how to implement processes, systems, policies, procedures, how to have a complete infrastructure as far as our office staff. At that, before 2020 came, Paveway didn't have a website. Paveway didn't have a logo.
Right.
Paveway wasn't using QuickBooks. We didn't have a TMS system. We was just basically hustling, truck and hustle.
Yeah.
We was just hustling.
Yeah.
So and then I also learned how to look at my business from a CEO perspective, not work in my business, work on my business.
What does that mean?
Look at it from a bird's eye view. Basically, like instead of working in it every day, like how can I focus on it from the outside and to build Paveway, So that was, like I say, one of the best things I ever done, taking the MBA program. I ended up winning the Accelerator Award because I think we had like 12 people in our class, and 2 people win the Accelerator Award. So I won it, and another young lady won it as well.
Okay.
And we went from 10 to 20 trucks. From not 10 to 20, but 8 to 10 to 20 trucks after the pandemic.
Wow.
Yeah, because so March we shut down.
Yeah.
I'm still in the MBA program, learning. And
while you're in the program, you just have 3 trucks on the board, right?
We just got those 3 trucks on the board, correct?
Just running. So you're making a little bit of money or whatever, keeping the business afloat, but
right?
Not really killing nothing.
No, we don't. Yeah.
But you're more so focused on now, how do you look at the business from a bird's eye view, like you said, and
correct.
Working on the business.
Correct. Right. So we had all of our trucks before the pandemic wasn't with Farrah. So majority of our trucks were with Farrah, but we still had one-offs. We had other customers who we helped. So it was another big customer, ProTrans, who we did a lot of work for, helping them out, like being the backup. We done got to where we are from being the backup.
Yeah. 6 man.
Yep. 6 man. 6 man of the year, baby.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. So they had approached me. My guy approached me and said, hey, Justin, we got an opportunity for you. The trucking company, the current company that's on it, they're not doing a good job. Send us some rates over and see, and make sure you come aggressive. So I sent those rates over, and we had just got our logo, and we put the logo at the top of the headliner. Yeah, not the headliner. I put it at the top of the paper. Yeah, I sent the rates over, sent it up nice and professional, and I learned all this from the program. From the program,
right? The letterhead,
the letterhead, correct? The letterhead. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, so when I sent it to him, so he called me back immediately, like, "Hey, Justin. Man, I like the logo, man. I like the logo. Yeah. Like you got some great rates, man. He said, matter of fact, Justin, I'm gonna give you $3 more.
Okay.
Justin, you sure you can do this business? I said, yeah, I can do this business.
Now, do you think you had great rates or cheap rates?
I think I had 2 cheap rates. Yeah, I had cheap rates because I was in a spot to where I just want to get some freight back on the books. Right. I had just lost my best friend within Farrah. So now I'm like, hey, what I'm gonna do. Right. I had just moved into the facility where we at now. We moved in there in 2019. We got bills. Yeah. So I just want to get some.
So you kind of knew it was a cheap rates, but at the end of the day, you had to just get in there.
I had to just get in there.
You had to get something going.
Get something going because I know once I get in there and I show my worth, the money gonna come. Right. So we ended up winning that account, and that account was 5 shuttle trucks a day, 24/7, and 2 switchers. And it was running in ProTrans, and ProTrans is a tier 1 transportation provider for BMW. So we was running like they got like their consolidation center was like 80 docks, and all freight come from the Midwest, from Laredo, from Mexico, all right to this cross dock, and they'll sort it at the cross dock, and then we'll take it to BMW and BMW other offsite warehouses. So we ended up winning that, and we ran that account for 3 years. We just lost it in July 2023. Yep.
Why'd you let somebody outbid you, or what
Well,
happened?
ProTrans got bought out. They got
Okay.
bought out by this big equity company, and the equity company, you know what they want to do? They want to come in and make the company leaner.
Yeah.
So the first thing you can do is who we outsourcing. Well, outsource.
Bring it in house.
Yeah, bring it in house. Why outsource?
Right.
So we can go buy our own trucks. We can hire our own drivers, and we can get rid of Paveway and the other companies. And that's it's a great business decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So kind of back to when you kind of got your footing again. I want to keep on going like a little bit deeper into that story. You said you start like working, figuring out how you want to build a business. And I'm sure a lot of that is like financially, like what was your financial model, and what did you learn at that accelerator program, like that you were doing differently now that you weren't, that you're doing now that you weren't doing before?
Right. So we didn't have QuickBooks. I understood what a P&L was, balance sheet, and I didn't have a dashboard. They gave us a dashboard. I got a CFO. At that time, he was my CPA. So financials, I kind of was a little ahead of the curve because I delegated that to him.
Right.
So we was a little ahead of the curve, but I just wasn't paying him the premium that we needed him. I wasn't pay at that time. B was just our CPA. He wasn't our CFO.
Right.
But after the program, I put him as our CFO, and of course, I had to pay him a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't have QuickBooks, and that helped a lot.
So it's fair to say like you didn't have QuickBooks, so you didn't have something showing you how the money was coming in and out.
Nope,
So
I was
you could
doing it
think
manually.
You're making money, but at the end of the day, you could be in the negative, right? Because you're not looking at everything. You're not looking at every line item. You're not seeing where your major cogs are, like costs and so forth, are, right?
Yep. SG&A. I didn't know my SG&A costs. Like you say, cost of goods. So I didn't know none of that. But the program actually, I learned all that. But B, he already knew it.
Okay.
My CFO, he already knew
So
it.
he was already kind of doing it on the side, but you didn't really understand.
I didn't understand
you
it.
just trusted him.
Yep. I just delegated. Hey, you do your thing.
Okay.
And we wasn't even at that level. But
How much were you making at that time?
We was
The company, if like gross revenue.
in 2019. In 2019, I think we did about $2 million.
Okay.
I think we did $2 million in 2019. Because my first year in 17, we did 300,000. 18, we did a little over $1 million, like 1.2 million. Yeah, so we did like 2 million in
Okay.
2019.
Okay.
And COVID came, so we had like that 3-month break. So we still actually topped 19 and 20 even with that break because we got that big account. We won that big account with ProTrans. Yeah, so we did about 2.4
Okay.
in 20.
Got it. So you continue to kind of grow.
Correct.
Right. All right, cool. So then the account with ProTrans, before, I know they ended up closing and shutting down and all that, right? But before that, how did you continue to build the business around them, around the ProTrans?
So we had ProTrans. So they was another one. They got a ton of freight with BMW. So we started with the shuttle account, and it ended up growing into, because they ship like 20 loads a day from BMW to Voestalpine. Voestalpine is a supplier to BMW. They're a tier 1 supplier to BMW. So they were shipping like 20 trucks a day. So it's the main company that was on it would fall off on it. They would call us in the middle of the night, hey, Justin, can you help us? Can you help us? Can you help us? And we would put trucks on it. So they ended up dedicating us 4 trucks a day to from White, Georgia to BMW.
Okay.
4 trucks a day, round trip freight.
Okay.
And then it snowballed. Another opportunity came. We started running to Clinton, Tennessee, 2 times a day, 2 trucks a day. So they would just always call us, and once we show what we can do, boom, they're going to dedicate it to us.
You were the cleanup guy.
We're the cleanup guy.
So give me an idea of how did this automotive, like how the world works in terms of like, is the freight time sensitive? Like, do you have like windows where you can deliver? Like, how does operationally, how does it work?
Yeah, well, you got time windows, but a lot of this freight is called JIT freight, just in time. So they want it fast. But they'll put a lot of pressure on you about this freight, but they got a stockpile. They got 100 trailers of the same freight on the yard, but they want to make sure that they stock level don't get low either.
Right.
So they'll put that pressure on you.
Because it's manufacturing, right? So
correct.
Like if you're late with something, it's slowing down like the supply chain.
Yep. And they'll have to sometimes they'll have to slow the line down. And it have been situations to where they had to slow the line down, and it wasn't all because of us, but things happen out there on that road.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Are you penalized? Let's say if you like shut down a line or something like that, because like is that in your contract as well?
It's not in our contract. It'd normally be in like the tier 1 transportation provider, which was ProTrans. Faro would be the broker who I went through, which was MSA. So it's in their contract, but it's not in ours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So because they're contracting to you.
Correct.
So they're like
they're the middleman.
Yeah, exactly. The middleman between you and them. So you guys get off easy.
Right.
But you have to answer to them if something happens, because obviously.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, got it. What are some of the other challenges of the automotive industry? Because we're talking about, it seems pretty easy, seems pretty cool, but I'm sure it's not. There's some headaches and stuff too. So tell me about some of the challenges working within this industry.
It's hard work. It's night in, night out. It's 24/7. So just having drivers that understand that concept, that it's night in, night out, sometimes can be a challenge within itself. Safety, making sure that your safety score is not getting out of whack, because, you got these drivers, some of them want to rush. They want to get back home.
Yeah.
They want to go here and get back home. And the sad part about it is, like, you're getting paid the same amount of money if, so why rush?
Right.
And you're literally going from 250 miles from Greenville, Greer, Spartanburg area and back every day.
Right.
So like, why rush? And then even with our hourly guys, we got some of our hourly guys that you got a 12-hour shift, they still rush. So it's like, why? Why
are you rushing on your hourly? Right?
Why? So that can become a big challenge. With drivers rushing, because
safety.
Yeah. A lot of mistakes start to happen.
Yeah.
And as your safety score rise, it causes audits. We had a 4-day compliance review back in 2019. I had a headache for 2 weeks. like serious. Yeah, it was. But we ended up passing, and we got a satisfactory.
Okay.
So that's a blessing.
Yeah.
But after we got that satisfactory, that's when a lot of opportunities start coming. So safety score is everything. Compliance is everything in trucking.
For sure.
Because it drives your premiums up when it comes to insurance. After we got that satisfactory, our insurance premiums start slowly coming down, and now we're in a good spot. I know a lot of people pay, $1,400-$1,500 a month for a truck. And I hear those, I'm like, whoa, how can you make it?
Right.
How can you make it?
Right. Yeah. What about like delivery? Is it mostly touch freight?
It's no touch. No touch.
Everything you're doing is no touch. It's bumping docks.
Bumping dock. A lot of it's dropping hook.
Just dropping hook.
Yep.
Okay, because you have the trailers already there. You just drop a trailer, pick up a trailer, and keep on rolling.
Yep.
So you don't got to touch nothing.
No touch.
Man, you guys got it made.
Yep. Okay. And they home every day, make good money. Some of my drivers make, I think, average $70,000 a year.
Yeah.
We have had drivers make 110, 120, but those guys hustling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And you've always been able to run your operation locally.
Correct.
You never had anybody OTR
nope.
over the road.
Nope. That's not our business model.
Yeah, got it. Okay. The current where we're at currently in the industry, there's a lot of people going out of business. Large carriers are going out of business, mid-size, small. You see all these bankruptcies and so forth and so on. How have you been able to sustain that?
Being flexible, being competitive when it comes to price, and providing good service. And you got to think outside the box sometimes. Yep.
Okay, got it. All right. And you just well, before I get to that, I want to get to the C.H. Robinson. I know he's got an award.
Right.
We'll talk about that. But talk about like where you are at currently. So you were able to build, like, tell me about some of the different customers you guys have now. Just kind of like what the operation looks like today. Okay.
So yeah, right now we got about 35 trucks, got about 50 trailers. We got I think it's about 37, 38 drivers. And out of those 35 trucks, we're not running 35 every day, right? We probably run 26, 27, because we have spare trucks. And when you're running that many trucks, at least 5 trucks going to be down, 4 or 5 trucks going to be down at all times in the shop.
Right.
We got our own shop. We do our own work in-house. So we got 4 mechanics out there in the shop and a tie tech that handle our own work. We got myself, a CEO. We got a COO. We got a fleet manager. We have a logistics coordinator, and we have a HR administrator, and we got my CFO as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it. All right. We talked about but ProTrans, right?
Mm-hmm.
They shut down because we didn't finish that part of the story. After they shut down, you didn't tell me what happened after that.
After when ProTrans,
when ProTrans decided to in-house all of their carriers and so forth
right,
and
right.
so on. We never finished that part.
Okay, yeah,
so
right. Sometimes I can just go all over the place. Right?
Yeah. No, it's all good. It's all good.
We lost ProTrans in 2023. Another one. That's why in trucking, never get don't take it for granted, because you can have this customer today and tomorrow they could be gone.
Yeah, and they accounted for how much of your business?
They accounted for about 60% of our business.
Okay, so a large portion of your business came
we was
from
doing about $4 million a year with ProTrans at that time.
Okay.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good. So we lost them in July of 2023. So I was scrambling, and I'm like, whoa, because it was a big blow, because I have a sense of loyalty to my drivers, to all my staff, because we there for each other. Like I say, it's a teamwork. It's team effort. Ain't no I in team.
Yeah.
So I ended up making a call to my C.H. Robinson rep and let him know, hey, what you guys got? Because we just lost this big account. We got trucks, we got switchers. Do you got any opportunities? It's similar to this opportunity that we just lost. And just to show, they had one on the table. And the crazy part about it is he actually sent that opportunity to me, but I didn't even bid on it because they had prior. He sent it, so we lost it in July, but he sent me this opportunity I think in April, May, but I didn't even bid on it because it was in Seneca, South Carolina. And I'm like, it's a 45-minute drive. It's kind of in the boondocks. This might not be a good fit, because we don't bid on everything. If I don't feel it's a good fit, I'm not going to even waste my time bidding on it.
Right.
So he was like, hey, Justin, you remember the opportunity that I had sent you? Yeah, we kind of in the last round of it. He said, if you can get me some numbers together and I can get it submitted and we can see if we can make something happen. So I went to the drawing board. I went aggressive as possible, got him the numbers. He called me back a couple of days later, said, hey, Justin, numbers look good. We might got a chance here. 2 months later, we won that account. And that's the account we're currently running now with BorgWarner. So we got 6 shuttle trucks, 24/7, 2 switchers, and we got a box truck on this one. And it's down in Seneca, South Carolina.
And what do they do?
And Seneca make transfer cases, and they supply Ford and Chrysler. Okay. And Stellantis.
Okay. And yeah. BorgWarner.
BorgWarner. Correct.
Okay. Got it. As a CEO of your company, how do you think about money, right? How do you pay yourself as a CEO? When did you start paying yourself? How do you pay yourself now? And then how do you think about in terms of cash in the bank, what you want to keep in the bank, credit to grow? Do you have credit lines? Tell me about that. Right.
So I started off paying myself. I wasn't paying myself what I'm making today, right? But you always got to pay yourself as CEO, because if you put the work in, I think you should deserve to get paid.
Right.
So I always paid myself. It just, as we continued to grow, I was able to pay myself a little bit more. Currently, we don't have no credit lines, but we're working on credit right now, because I was kind of always against credit, because you don't want to be a servant to the lender. But in a sense, to scale, I've realized we're going to have it.
Right.
So we're working on a credit line right now, just to have that, just in case anything go wrong, we'll have that line of credit ready and available.
Right.
I like to keep a certain amount of money on hand at all times, just in case something go wrong. But at this point, you need to be using other people's money. Why I'm gonna use my money, right? Right. So that's why we're gonna implement that credit line. What else did you ask?
I think you answered most of it. I was saying, number one, how do you pay yourself, right? And then how do you think about just think about financially, scaling credit lines and so forth.
Right.
So I think you kind of answered that. So right now you kind of pay for everything cash. If you guys don't have it in the business, and you don't have any debt.
We do got debt. So
okay.
We got 10 trucks. Our last 10 trucks we owe for those, and we got a relationship with our bank, and we pay them monthly.
Okay, so the only debt is the trucks.
Trucks, yeah, and I don't mind getting in debt with trucks, because they pay for themselves,
right?
Because they run it's an asset.
Are you still leasing?
We don't lease trucks no more.
Okay,
yeah.
So you got out of leasing.
And I just say, hey, instead of leasing, I just go buy the trucks and use that same money that can go for truck payments.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I can save some.
What type of trucks do you buy?
So we buy right now we buying 2018, 2019 Freightliner Cascadias. Yeah, with the DD13s in them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Cool. All right. So after the ProTrans situation, you connect with this guy from C.H. Robinson. He connects you with the opportunity. What's it?
Borge Warner.
Borge Warner, and you're able to kind of grow from there and keep things going.
Yep. So we actually just get our foot back up on ourselves because we lost that big account.
Right.
So it was like, whoa. And I kept all my drivers, we was just making it work.
Yeah.
Kept all my office staff.
Everybody stayed.
Everybody stayed.
Okay.
Everybody stayed. No, I think we lost 2 people.
Okay.
I think we lost like 1 or 2 people. But for the most part, everybody stayed. But we took a big blow because some weeks, I was paying these drivers when they really didn't put that much work in, but we were still paying them.
Right. Are you still doing a mix of hourly and the percentage?
Yep.
Or you?
Yeah. So we do a mix of hourly, and we've been into the percentage. We do by the load.
Okay.
So it's either hourly or by the load.
So the shuttle guys are getting hourly?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And then the per load is the other guys.
Yeah,
okay,
they might run to Charleston and back, the round trip guys.
Got it. So their wage fluctuates. It depends on what they actually do.
Correct. And 9 times out of 10, they're doing the same thing every day.
Yeah.
So if you work 5, only time it's going to fluctuate if like they miss a day or they on vacation for a week.
Okay.
It's really going to be on them because the work is dedicated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, got it. So you start killing it with C.H. Robinson.
So we was already doing business with C.H. Robinson. We've been doing business with C.H. Robinson since 2020 as well.
Yeah.
But we just didn't have as many trucks. They would call us when they need us. I think we had like 1 truck dedicated to them with the plastic company account. That's another tier 1 automotive supplier for BMW. Then they supply Volvo and they supply Mercedes, plastic aluminum. And they write in Duncan, South Carolina. And they got a plant in Anderson as well. So that's how I already had that relationship with my CH rep because we was doing a lot of plastic aluminum freight with him. And when that happened, when we lost ProTrans, I called him, and then he lined the Borge Warner account up, and it just snowballed. It snowballed from there.
Got it. And you know what I meant to ask you also on the financial piece? Did you use factoring? Do you still use factoring?
Yes. We still use factoring.
Okay, so you've used factoring for the entire business.
So with ProTrans, I didn't use factoring for the entire business, but some of my accounts we actually floated ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'd like net 30. Some of our customers is net 45. But like all of our CH stuff, we use a factoring service just because it's so complicated with billing. Okay. So it's easier just to factor it.
Who you use factor?
We use OTR Solutions.
Oh, OTR Solutions. Yeah. Big shout to OTR Solutions. They're gonna love that, man. Yeah. So yeah, you know my guys over there at OTR. Nick, shout to Nick, shout to Wade, shout to Jonathan, Grace, team at OTR, man. Listen, make sure you go check out OTR Solutions. How they treated you?
OTR great. We've been with OTR since we've been in business. So a little over 7 years. Great. They we ain't got no complaints.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Love
so
that.
we deal with Kimmy over there. Davis deal with Kimmy on a daily basis over there at OTR. So shout out to Kimmy.
Got that. Got to keep that cash flow. Keep that cash coming in.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, cool. All right. So you recently got an award for CH Robinson, right? Carrier of the Year?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Carrier of the Year of 2024. So Carrier of the Year. So CH Robinson have a Carrier of the Year award every year. They got like a database of 62,000 carriers in their network. Out of the 62,000 carriers, they nominate 500. And out of the 500, they choose the top 24. And the top 24, like with LTL carriers, you got your carriers with refrigerated, you got your flatbed. And then they even divided up even more because they even gave one guy had like 1 truck. Then you got your category, like our category was 20 to 74 trucks. Okay. Then you got your 400 plus. I think it was somebody in there won, CRST. They had like 1,000 trucks, so they won it too.
Got it.
But yeah, that was great. It was a great time out there in Minnesota. I actually felt appreciated. And in this industry, it's never a time where you're going to feel appreciated. It's like, hey, we give you the work, you do the work. Yeah. It's like, it's not the feeling that I got when I was out there in Minnesota. So I value CH Robinson as a partner. And look forward to continued growth with CH Robinson because they rolled the red carpet out for us, man. I spent $18. I was at the 3 days. I spent $18. So that's another record I set, right?
Yeah, there you go, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, brokers get a bad rep sometimes, man.
Yep.
How do you keep that relation? How do you keep brokers honest and keep the relationship good? What's the key to that?
I don't think you can keep them honest, to be honest.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Yeah.
Right. You just got to figure out how you can get a piece of the pie too, right?
Yep. Yeah. Make it work for you.
And make it work for you.
Yep. Yep.
I got it.
Yeah. But that Carrier of the Year award, man, is great. It's great. So I'm not going to spoil it. So I ain't going to really tell a lot of people, the whole experience, cause, work hard, you get there and, you're going to see, but it was great.
And this is something that they just nominate you for. They you have to meet check certain boxes and meet certain criteria.
Yep. And then your C.H. Robinson rep nominate you, and then they got like a Carrier of the Year committee, and then they'll choose which carriers they think fit.
Got it. Okay. Cool.
You got carriers that was 4 years in a row that's been there.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. I think I met another carrier, RBX. They was there. This was their second year. So yeah, it's definitely a great experience.
Got it. What keeps you up at night as a business owner?
Things is going wrong with trucks. I don't handle the day to day. So for me, at this point, for me to be up at night, it got to be something like serious. It got to be something serious, like a bad accident. What else? Escalations to where they gonna call me. Bad accident. It's got to be like real serious for them to call me, because Davis, and shout out to Davis, that's my younger brother. He actually, our CEO, he handled all of our operations. Yeah, so, and he do a great job at it. So yeah, it's gonna be rare that they call me in the middle of the night.
So what are you working on?
So right now, our goal is to scale Paveway within the next 3 to 5 years up to like 150 to 200 trucks. So my whole thing is, okay, how can we make that happen? So I know that we don't want to just saturate the market right there, and it's only so much freight from where we're from. So what we're going to have to do is spread our wings. So we want to put a terminal down in Charleston, South Carolina. We also...
Why Charleston?
So Charleston got a port down there, MBV down there. We got MBV down there, that's Mercedes Sprinter van. They make the Sprinter vans down in Charleston. They got Volvo down there as well. So it's a lot of opportunities down there, and we already got a little small footprint down there. We got a shuttle truck to go from Isri to MBV 24/7 a day. We got 2 trucks a day going from Spring Hill, Tennessee, Francia, taking interior systems down to MBV. And we got another truck that we run for Molly, go from Greer to Charleston every day. And then we got another truck to go from Gaddison to Charleston every other day. So we got about 5-6 trucks in the Charleston area right now. We having a lot of issues with breakdowns down there, and we having to outsource it. And when you outsource it, it's just, they just gonna hit you over the head. So I think it's for
outsource the work, like the truck work?
The maintenance work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the mechanical work.
I didn't know if you were saying like you getting like another carrier to cover
No,
freight or something like that. Okay.
Like when we have breakdowns, blowouts, and they just hit us over the head, and that's just what they do.
Got you.
Yeah, so we want to try to get a terminal down there. And it's also we into warehousing, so we do a lot of warehousing for Borge Warner. Okay. So we got about 30,000 square feet worth of warehouse space under management for Borge Warner. At our spot, we only got like a 10,000 square feet warehouse, so we outsource it and use another warehouse to put the rest of the freight at.
Okay.
But we're in the process of actually getting our own warehouse built in Greer. So the terminal we at now, we want to eventually turn that into a trucking school. And then so we can move Paveway to Duncan. So because we want to be closer to the tier 1 and tier 2 suppliers up there in the Duncan Gray area. And we want to have enough space to where we can start out with like a 50,000 square feet warehouse, and then we'll build on it to 100. And then hopefully we can have it to where build it up to us like a 200,000 square feet warehouse.
Right. Yes. All for automotive.
All for automotive, correct.
So you said that you have a 10,000 square feet warehouse in your current location
correct.
Now, but you said you have some other spaces that you have under management, right?
Yeah, well, we got this another warehouse.
Space?
Yeah, another warehouse that we use. So if our customers come to us and want us to warehouse some freight, we going to warehouse it, but we don't got room at warehouse, so we're gonna take it to another warehouse.
Right. But I'm saying, so that warehouse is like you lease that warehouse?
Correct.
Or?
Yep. We lease that warehouse. Yep.
Okay.
We lease space.
You lease space within that. It's a big warehouse.
Correct.
And you have some space there.
Correct.
So
Correct.
So whatever overflow you have that you can't keep at the 10,000 square feet, you put over there.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. Got it. But your goal is to have
all under one roof.
All under one roof. When you said Duncan?
Yep. Duncan gray area.
Okay. Got it. So with that, and that creates another opportunity for revenue as well, right?
Correct.
In terms of like storage and so forth.
Yep. And we do storage trailers too. So we got about 25, 30 storage trailers out there with our customers.
Okay.
So
how much can you charge for a storage trailer?
We charge $300 a month.
Okay. $300 a month.
Storage trailer. Yep.
Got it. So they just sit there, and that's just passive, it's just passive income that you don't have to think about.
Yep.
Trucks just trailers sitting there, no wear and tear, nothing, just storage space.
And so we got at our yard, we got about 20 of them. We charge them another 150 to park it at our yard.
Okay.
So it's like 450 total.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because some of our customers want them at their facility because they keep them there. Like if they got an audit or one of the big bosses coming in town and they want to clear their floor, they'll just throw it on the storage trailers. But sometimes they don't have room. Like a lot of these automotive facilities, they don't have room.
Right.
So they're like, hey, can you keep give us supply the storage trailer and then take it off our yard. Yeah, we got a solution for that as well. Yeah. So yeah, my whole thing is just trying to come up with strategic solutions for my customers. We a problem solver. We're a trucking company, but our main goal is to solve our customers' problems.
Yeah. What do you think is the best decision that you made? In terms of how you want to approach this trucking business.
Building a great team. Building a good answer. Yeah, building a great team. Delegating and understanding that I don't know it all, and it's okay to put somebody else in position that's actually better than me to continue to grow Paveway. Yeah, so building a great team, because without a team, a lot of this can't happen. Yeah, without a great team.
Got it. So you said the goal is 150 to 200 trucks?
Yep, over the next 3 to 5 years.
Over the next 3 to 5 years?
Yep.
And you have a path to that. You see exactly how you're going to do that.
Yeah. So we done created a roadmap. We actually got it's called Vision 30. So by 2030, we want to have our annual sales up to like 30 million a year.
Okay. Where you guys at now? Roughly?
We're about 8 million right now.
Okay. Yeah. Got it. So like triple, like 3x.
Yep. So but we got 5 years to do it. So
What's Vision 30? Where's that concept come from?
I just thought of it. I'm like, okay, because we had Vision 25. So we wanted to get to 2025, we wanted to have 25 million in sales.
Okay.
But COVID came, and we stopped buying trucks because trucks just was overpriced. Like same trucks that I paid 30, 40,000 for, these same trucks selling for 70, 80,000. Trailers that I paid 10,000 for, they selling for 30,000. So it's like, I'm not finna buy this equipment to be upside down. So we took like a break with buying trucks. So we took like 2 years off from buying trucks. Yeah. So now we, everything is kind of back to normal. People would say trucks cheap, but I think it's back to normal. Right. The normal prices.
Got it.
So we gonna, take advantage.
What advice would you give somebody who's struggling in business right now, trying to figure it out? They're thinking about giving up, but they want to stay in it. Like, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to trust your process, pray about it, believe in yourself, and just make it happen. Just stay down. You just got to keep going. Like it's been times early on in my trucking career where I'm like, man, I want to get out of this. I'm gonna go buy some dump trucks. Always trying to think of ways like the easy route out, but in life
to get away from the pain.
Right. But in life in general, it's not gonna happen. Like just figure it out. Stay down. Right. Figure it out. Just keep trying.
What's the craziest? Give me an idea of like the craziest thing you had to kind of figure out, like a problem that came up in your business and you were like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, how are we gonna get out of this?
Okay, so we had a truck from ProTrans. So this truck was coming down the hill and it rolled over. It rolled over, and they was trying to charge us $100,000 for this. So I went because the freight was damaged. And our insurance company was trying to deny the claim. So insurance company, they always try to find a way.
The driver's at fault.
Correct. Yep. So we figured it out, and I talked with one of the head guys at ProTrans, and they kind of helped us out with it. Yeah, but that was something that was real bad.
Yeah, because you hit with that $100,000 bill.
Yeah, so
Can't
not even
sustain
that $100,000 bill for the freight and the Penske truck. I mean, no, not the Penske, no, the Ryder truck. It was actually damaged too. So that was like another $60,000. So we had to work a deal with them, pay them off, and of course we didn't pay the whole thing. We agreed to it. Then the tow bill was another $29,000. Yeah, so it was just crazy, and we had to pay that tow bill in full. Yeah. So that was just a loss. Yeah. But I ended up having to hire an attorney. That's when we finally said, "Hey, we got to have an attorney on retainer."
Got it.
Because at that time we didn't have an attorney, and we got the attorney. He negotiated and got everything worked out for us. We still took a loss, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, it just in listening to your story, it's like you kind of put this thing together like as you went along.
Yep.
You didn't really know what you were doing when you got started, but as you continued and progressed, it's like you put different things in place based off of like what you learned, the experiences you went through. Yep.
We were just hustling, man. When I first started out, I'm just hustling trucks. I took the MBA program. I actually implemented processes, systems, policies, and procedures, and created a whole infrastructure. And now we actually are business.
Yeah. Official business.
Yeah, we're official.
That's right, and growing.
Yeah.
Man, it's been dope, man. So as we begin to wrap, two things. Obviously, we want to let everybody know where they can connect with you. Is there anything that you're looking for right now? Is like if there's anything you can put out there into the world, like I'm looking for drivers, I'm looking for, like just throw it out there.
Yes, we are always looking for drivers in the South Carolina area, like the upstate South Carolina area. And we actually in the process of finna start bringing owner-operators on because we don't use owner-operators.
Yeah.
So for different areas where it's opportunities that we got access to, we're going to start bringing owner-operators on as well.
Why are you doing the owner-operator model now?
Just because,
thinking about it.
Because like, say, Midwest, we don't have terminals up there, so I don't got no connections up there. So why not use an owner-operator who familiar with that area? So, the truck breakdown, he knows somebody. Right. My truck breakdown, I don't know nobody. They're gonna hit me in the head $5,000.
Right.
And I feel the owner operator, some of the owner operators, the biggest problem with them is they can't find dedicated work. So I think I can bridge that together into where they can have dedicated opportunities. And it can be beneficial for Paveway and it can be beneficial for them as well.
Yeah.
Because I don't plan on like spreading out to the Midwest. We only plan on spreading to Charleston, basically the Southeast, Charleston, Atlanta, Chattanooga, and I want to put a terminal up in Charlotte as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. And where can people connect with you? Where's the best place to find you?
So I'm on Instagram, Mr. Paveway 01.
And why Paveway? Where did the name come from?
So Paveway, I was just thinking, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to call it Paveway because this is going to pave the way for my future. This is the foundation. This is everything, this the beginning, this is everything. So it's gonna pave the way.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. And then we always traditionally have a final thought, which is, something for the entrepreneurs out there. It could be spiritual, it could be business, like just something you want to leave the audience with to just kind of that final gem, that final jewel.
Right. With the will of God and the hard work, all things are possible. All things are possible. So just trust your process, keep your faith high, because let's get that clear too. Without God, none of this is possible. And I'm a firm believer in God. So with the will of God and the hard work, all things is possible.
That's right. I love that, man. If you don't respect that, your whole perspective is whack. Hustle fam, man. This has been another amazing episode, man. I thank you, man. Number one, for coming to Jers and sitting with us and hanging out with us for a minute. And this has been dope. We got to do a part 2, man. I got to come down to see what you guys are working on there. I know there's a bunch of things happening, right? Tell them about what you got. You're building.
So at our current terminal, we expanded it. So when I first got that property, it was like 4 acres, but 2 acres was still wooded. So we done grew since then, right? So we cleared it, and we had to hire an engineer to draw some plans up to control the water so the water can flow the right way.
Yeah.
And we got to put a retention pond. We also going to pave that lot as well. We're going to put a brand new parking lot up there. So, we're going to have to get you down for part 2.
That's right.
And I appreciate the opportunity to come up here. And like I say, this has been overdue.
No doubt. How much does 4 acres cost you in Greenville, South Carolina?
When I bought that property, I paid $750 for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I paid $750 for it. But it's not appreciated because, again, I've been in it since 2019. So when I got it, I I got it with a lease with the option to buy, and some of my lease payments was going towards the buy if I was to buy it. So I got it at a good deal. So I would say that property right now, and we done cleared it too. That probably worth. I think someone just offered us like 1.2 million for it. So
wow,
yeah, but we're not selling. Yeah,
you're gonna build on it.
Yeah,
make it more valuable.
Yeah, we're gonna make it more valuable, and we're gonna turn it into a school because it's right around the corner from the DMV. So long term, it'll be a trucking school, Paveway Academy.
And you were saying that there's like a
it's a wait list. So Greenville Tech is our only school in Greenville. You got one in Duncan, you got one in Anderson, but in Greenville, county of Greenville, it's only one school, Greenville Tech, and they got like a 6-month wait list.
That's wild.
So, and I think it's things that I can help, teach these drivers, not myself personally, but, tell our instructors, because I'm gonna be a part of the whole process, right? To like drivers come out of school, they don't know how to back. And I think that backing thing is, it just take time, but I think they should be a little better than what they are coming out of school.
Yeah.
So it's certain areas that I think that we can provide, more alpha.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of these drivers, I mean, it takes a 4-week, 6-week program. I mean, they teach you just literally how to get through the course.
Right.
And how to pass the test. You don't learn how to drive until you get out there on the road.
Right.
So, these guys can back.
Right.
And most accidents are caused when backing.
Yep.
So it's the most important maneuver to know how to do is back.
Yep. And we got a dock at that facility so they can, back on that dock, to learn. And we also can use it as a feeder program to feed Paveway. Because currently with my insurance, we can have like 5% of our driver pool can be like fresh out of school.
Really?
Yeah, fresh out of school.
How did you get that?
So we with auto owners, and my agent basically told me about it. I'm like, hey, I'm kind of gonna run into some struggles because there's some drivers I want to hire that might got 8-9 months, but they can drive.
Yeah.
They might have been drove before and just had to restart. He said, well, it's a program. If you create a driver program, a safety program, and show to where like you teaching them, that your pool, 5% of your pool can be they can be fresh out of school.
Oh, that's dope.
So as our driver pool and
grows,
more
drivers,
I can have more. Correct.
Got it. And it could be fresh out. Do they have to go to train or anything like that for a certain amount?
So we got to have a driver training program for them as well.
You have to show that to the insurance company.
Correct.
And they'll let that. So if you have 10 drivers and like half a driver could
right
be new.
Right.
But I got you. But that's good though.
Yep.
It gives you some more opportunity.
Yep.
I mean, but there's liability in that too. So
it's liability because when I first started, you had to have 2 years.
Yeah.
And I wanted the older guys, between 50 and 60 years old, because those guys, they've been around the block and back.
Yeah.
They was born at night, but not last night, right?
For sure.
So and it's just working to this day. Our driver pool is still around. Our average driver is around 50 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a couple young guys, but it just don't never work out.
Yeah. It's funny, like with drivers, man, I always say I've worked with tons of drivers on the staffing company and so forth. And it's like with some people just got it and some people just don't got it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like even like guys fresh out of school, it's either you just got it. Like it's just something about you just know how to drive a truck, and then some people just struggle.
Yep.
And even if they've been driving a long time, they still could struggle.
Yep.
But some people just have it in them.
Yep.
So it's interesting.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, let's wrap it up, man. Let's go get some Philly cheesesteaks or something like
Let's
that,
do
man.
it.
This has been dope, man. I can't wait till we do part 2 on your side of town. Let's keep on building together, man, and see how we could add value to each other, man.
Let's do it.
For
Appreciate
sure,
the opportunity to be here.
Good seeing you.
Yes, sir.
And Hustle Fam, we are out.
If you twisted, confused, or stuck about trucks, don't be dumb. This is the place to come. Truck and hustle. Let's go.